closed all them twice. I was just riding down Salem, all them damn potholes, I can't drive. I know y'all can fix it faster, but I know y'all won't try. Don't nobody care about us, and that's why I don't vote. Voted for Obama back in 2012, I remember that's when I had hope. He was saying, yes, we can, and everybody got less food stamps. And when I turned 21, I was still broke, I'd never vote again. I don't think I ever had a president make my life better. Did it all on my own, ain't no politician ever do a nice gesture. I don't even know the mayor's name, I ain't never seen her one time ever. Tell me how she gonna help the city. What I'm supposed to do, write letters? What I'm supposed to do, blame Trump? He ain't never really gave a ain't nobody raised minimum wage. None of these jobs pay enough. I think they just wanna keep us broke, cause they ain't putting none in place for us. This how all my people feel, but we gotta learn. We complained enough, let me change it up. Everything I just said, everybody I know think the same way. See, they don't wanna see us vote, and we never do, so we see the same thing. But all our votes really do count, and they'll never really let it show. So now I'm finna break it down, cause if I don't, you would probably never know. First thing first, you know back in middle school when they taught us, it was 3 branches of the government. We forgot it when we got older. It's the judicial, the legislative, and executive. But all we know is the executive. That's the mayor, or the governor, and the president. Now none of them 3 people make no laws, they just be checking them. The laws come to their desk and all they do is say no or yes to it. So when the news station tried to tell us that Barack Obama couldn't put us on, we was all salty at Obama when it was the Congress members all along. We gotta focus on the legislative branch, yeah, they the ones that make the laws. Yeah, they the ones write how much food stamp money you get on the card. But when people that wanted to help us wanted the job, I know they probably lost. Cause we ain't even know their name, we ain't know their face, we ain't know it all. So the Congress or the State House, that's legislative, they make laws. So what we want from the president is what they do, okay y'all? See, they election every 2 years, but we don't ever even go to those. The Congress, they can raise minimum wage, but we ain't even really know it though. So you know how back in 08, when we all voted for Obama, we was all supposed to go back in 2010 and vote for the Congress. Cause they the ones make child support laws, they the ones choose if your kids at school get to eat steak or corn dogs. The State House make the court costs. So if the country failed, then you can't say it's them, it's your fault. Cause y'all ain't know to vote for Congress members that was for y'all. And they don't gotta leave after 4 years, and we just let them sit. See, they don't wanna tell you this, they want you to focus on the president. Now the 3rd branch is the judicial, that's judges. They the reason why John Crawford and Trayvon ain't had justice. So when Meek Mill got locked up just for popping willies, we blame the judge and not the city when they let her get voted in, cause they ain't know who to vote against. Imagine life on the other side. Roads better, schools better, everybody get their license back. Grocery store food better, custody of your kids back. Homeless people get new shelters. If we gon' fix the U.S., we gotta start with them 2 letters, me and you. Somebody told us that the government wanna keep us broke, but the only reason why those people in the government is cause we ain't vote. And I ain't talking about the president, I'm talking about the ones we ain't know. See, they was gonna try to keep it low, but it's gonna hurt them when they see the pros.
Every time you stay home, someone is making a decision about you, making decisions about the air you breathe, the water you drink, the food your kids eat, and how much money you bring home every 2 weeks. So every time you sit out an election, every time you don't show up because you think it doesn't matter, someone else is happy that you didn't show up, so they can make that decision for you. Vote.
This episode of the Cab Grand Rising Show is brought to you by Autochthonous Assembly, where the real work gets done. For the first-time visitors who may be wondering who Autochthonous Assembly is, Autochthonous Assembly, or A2 for short, is a gathering of minds that do the work. A2 is a non-profit organization dedicated to raising up Indigenous Americans' voices by using genealogy, also known as family history or family tree. Genealogy is the study of families and the tracing of their lineages in history. Genealogists use oral interviews, historical records, genetic analysis, and other records to obtain information about a family and to demonstrate kinship and pedigrees of its members. Autochthonous Assembly's core values are the foundation of its company, essential to its success, and serves as the lens through which it evaluates every business decision. The core values are integrity, know and do what is right, respect, treating others the way you want to treated, responsibility, embrace opportunities to contribute, servant leadership, serve the common good. Along with a key emphasis on genealogy, A2 is also committed to providing our communities with information and access to available grants and funding through the Department of Housing and Urban Development, the United States Department of Agriculture, the Farm Service Agency, and other departments and agencies that offer programs to help them become self-sufficient. Building on a strong community reputation, Autochthonous Assembly continues to strengthen the growth of the relationship and development of our communities. Peace and Grand Rising.
Warning, warning, warning. Hard hats, pickaxe, shovels, boots required.
Grand Rising, Grand Rising. Peace, peace, peace. Hope all is well. How's the panels doing this rising?
Grand Rising, everyone.
Peace, 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 peace. Grand Rising, y'all. Peace, y'all.
Grand Rising, I'm ready to rock.
Uh-oh.
Is it Planet Rock or we just rocking?
Rock, Planet Rock.
Don't stop.
I want to rock now.
Oh, we can go. I want to rock right now too. Can we go? Bones, what we doing today?
Well, we'll
Peace
start
to the chats.
starting off with some official business. As you can see on the screen, it says Autonomous Assembly Inc. Because there have been a couple of rumors floating around that Autonomous Assembly is not a non-profit organization. Blase, squaze. Gonna put the link in the chat real quick for everyone. Give me a couple of seconds. Okay, link is in the chat. Someone from the panel wanted to pull it up to read it. I'm put it on screen real quick.
Yep, give me just a second. Oh wait, what chat did you put it in?
It's in YouTube and Twitch. I'll drop it in the back chat right now. All right, and it's also in the back chat.
I'm sorry, I got the colorful swirly going. It's my computer's thinking.
And as the audience been watching for a while, it's on the screen. Just waiting for Gabrielle to get situated.
Okay, I'm pulling it up now. Had to go through Google. Okay. Autonomous Assembly Incorporated, Georgia Domestic Nonprofit Corporation.
What was that again?
Autonomous Assembly Incorporated, Georgia Domestic Nonprofit Corporation. Updated 4/12/2019. Autonomous Assembly Incorporated is a Georgia domestic nonprofit corporation filed on March 29, 2019. The company's filing status is listed as active compliance, and its file number is
Oh, you can read it. It's public information. If you just Google Autonomous Assembly, all this come up.
okay. 190466959. Give me a second. Okay, you want me to read the next paragraph too?
Yes, you can. Please do.
Okay. The registered agent on file for this company is Brittany Davis and is located at 38 Eastgate Drive, Tifton, Georgia 31794. The company's principal address is 38 Eastgate Drive, Tifton, Georgia. The company has one principal on record. The principal is Brittany Davis from Tifton, Georgia.
Okay, that's it real quick. So
The company. Okay.
Wait. Can I say something? I'm here. Let's get ready. Can I say something, please?
oh, yes, you can. Yes, you can.
I wanted to say I thank everyone from the audience. I thank you, the silent majority. I thank you for those that are going to listen to this later. Show is over. Thank you for coming out. God bless you. Good night. There's nothing else left to be said. What else needs to be said? Thank y'all for coming out. Shortest show ever. Have and right tomorrow. See you then. I'm out.
Peace, y'all. No, I'm listening.
But really, I mean, the link is in the chat. You can pass the link out. My name and information on it, it doesn't bother me because, again, if you Google Autonomous Assembly, all this comes back. This is public info. So anyone telling you Autonomous Assembly isn't real, is an LLC, it's a fraud, well, tell them to contact the business registry and the federal government and ask them why they say otherwise. Any questions from the chat? Any questions from the panel? Anyone? Just real quick before we move on, want to give everybody a chance.
I don't really have much to say about this right here specifically, except that proof is never a problem. And man, people should just do some research first before saying things that are recorded live for everyone to hear. But yeah, I yield the mic.
Can you go back and just read that first part one more time for the 25-year-old 8th graders sitting in the back of the classroom?
Who, me? Proof is not a problem. I mean, that's what I have to say. I can't even remember what I just said.
Oh, Gabrielle. Yeah, you want to repeat it again.
Okay. No
Okay, I thought you
problem.
were talking about me.
Just a
Okay.
second.
Because the Autonomous Assembly is
I'm sorry?
Autonomous Assembly is a what? Okay, go ahead.
Autonomous Assembly Incorporated is a Georgia domestic nonprofit corporation.
It's a what?
Corporation, nonprofit.
He hit you with that H first. That what?
What is a corporation? What? Okay, go ahead. Mike.
Non-profit.
And it been that ever since when?
4/12/2019.
Hey, y'all, congratulations. We're a year and a month old.
Mm-hmm.
A real company.
Hit him with a golf clap.
Y'all not only up and walking, you've been running, slapping people in the face and everything else.
What did the non-profit say to the face?
Slap. Cold blooded.
Chang. We said, welcome to the China Club. No, China, my bad, y'all.
And unlike other entities, we're going to give 10 more minutes just in case anyone wants to come and, address the APs, because we're not blocking anyone now. We're not being disrespectful. So we will allow 10 more minutes, then we'll move on to this Rise's next topic. That's cool with everyone? I guess that was okay.
Huh?
I thought you said we were taking 10 minutes for that to simmer and set in. I wasn't quite sure. My bad.
Oh yeah, no.
We had to simmer and set in because there was a whole lot of people that was misinformed, and instead of taking the time out and research and ran with the misinformation. So this shit tells you, don't put people on pedestals and don't take what anyone says out their mouth to be directly truthful. Research everyone and everything. Again, the link is in the chat. Disperse it around. Anyone telling you otherwise, the community has the proof.
You gon' hurt your back, dragging all them L's like that.
Oh, you said that link was in the chat, Bones? That means I can put it in the back chat too, right?
Yes, you can. Do whatever you want to put. It's public information. And seeing the difference with this is, if you do something criminal or something fraudulent towards this panel, this show, any person that this company has did a service to, then we do have the right to proceed with legal options. Why is it so quiet, y'all?
That's what I want to know.
Them L bags are extremely heavy.
Yo, nah, wait a minute now, because this chat is open. Nobody's blocked. The phone line is open. No number is blocked. The email is open. No email is blocked. The website is open. There is no paid page. It's not a paid site. So you have access to everything that you can get to contact us. You can get in contact with us. Trust me, dog. And dogettes.
I mean, I woke up 4 a.m. this rising. I was talking to town. Why so quiet?
Oh, you woke up like this.
Mm-hmm.
For real.
I went to bed listening to people talk about me, woke up hearing people talk about me. I'm like, what did I do? Hey. No Sellout famous, Gabrielle famous, James famous. I guess we doing something right, y'all.
I guess so.
I mean, I'm really stalling because like Brother James said, there's really nothing else to talk about. Case closed. It's over. Bye-bye. Anyone who's still carrying on with that foolishness, well, you just let everyone else know who you really are. Just stalling to give people time. The ha, the he-he-he's. And for the record, it's kind of funny that people can ask for proof and proof is shown. But when have the other side ever shown you proof? I challenge a question to anyone who's listening. We opened up this company because the company belongs to you. You have access to go publicly at any given time to see what's going on. This isn't behind no paywall. Just put the name in any search engine. It's going to pop up. But now my challenge is, can you put these other entities, companies' names, in these search engines and find any registration, any filing, any type of status? And I say that to lead us into our next section. This rising is basically public versus private, and what does it really mean? Because there's a lot of misinformation floating around in the community that's very harmful. And this rising, we're going to bring you the information. So after the information is presented, you'll be in a better situation to make a better choice on how you want to move forward. Gabrielle, you got the link that you was reading from?
Yep. Just a second. You want me to put the link in the chat?
Yes, thank you.
I can't put it in Twitch.
No, it don't matter. I'll grab it and put it there once you put it.
I put it in the green chat. My bad. I was on mute. Do apologize. Can y'all hear me?
Mic check. I can hear you.
Okay. Ready for me to read? Wait, can y'all hear me? It's kind of gloomy and rainy over here, so I don't know if I'm.
No, you're clear. You're 100%.
Okay, my
You're
bad.
clear. You know what? It sets the scene. You know, in all those movies when something is like sad and someone's crying or depressed, and then the rain just automatic cue rain. I can't stand the rain. Go ahead.
My window.
I can't stand a dang.
Womp womp. Chicken, chicken. Shout out to VA. Oh, and the original song too. I'm sorry. That's top down, give them pound now. Look who it be. It be me. Is you reading, Gabrielle?
I was reading. I'm reading. Hold on.
I don't know.
My
I don't
bad.
know.
My bad.
This is post-show production. We ended the show 10 minutes ago. You know, we only went 5 minutes in. Go ahead.
Right. Legalbeagle.com. How to acquire private citizenship. As of January 23rd, 2019, acquiring private citizenship in the United States is known as naturalization. To become a U.S. citizen, you have to meet certain eligibility requirements and provide necessary identification. Then go through an interview and testing process. When all of these steps are completed and your application is approved, you are a private citizen of the United States.
One more time, please.
Please, one more time. And can you get a little bit louder? Just put the mic all the way on your mouth. Just get loud and press with the mic. Is this too loud for everybody? I don't know what's going on.
How about that? Can y'all hear me?
Oh, yes, we can.
Okay. Okay. Acquiring private citizenship in the United States is known as naturalization. To become a U.S. citizen, you have to meet certain eligibility requirements and provide necessary identification. Then go through an interview and testing process. When all of these steps are completed and your application is approved, you are a private citizen of the United States.
Now, can someone explain to me, if I'm already born a citizen, why would I be doing this?
Hold on, were you saying born a citizen? Don't that mean that is that saying you're already a private citizen?
Yes,
Yep.
and people understand a little bit more as we get further down into it. But
Oh,
the
okay.
first question off the first paragraph has to be,
Acquiring private citizenship in the United States is known as naturalization.
Just in case it's a little complicated.
yes, call back. If you call back, I'm gonna give you the phone. Sorry about that. I had a call come in.
Very good.
No, I was saying the first question is, if you're a citizen, why would you be doing this? You have a birth certificate making you a U.S. citizen, born here, U.S. citizen, American Indian, U.S. citizen. So why would you be doing the process of becoming a private citizen, which just another way of saying naturalization? Saying that foreigners do to become U.S. citizens.
Now, let me just read naturalization. There's a definition to it. Crazy enough. The definition is the admittance of a foreigner to the citizenship of a country.
One more time for the nosebleeds.
The admittance of a foreigner to the citizenship of a country.
So if you're telling yourself that you're a private citizen and you did a process to become a private citizen, that means you are a immigrant, a foreigner.
Hold on. So you mean to tell me you walking out the door to come right back in that same door?
But just as a foreigner.
Right.
Well, what's the end result of that? I mean, what do you get for becoming a foreigner?
Less stuff.
I heard somebody quote like
Higher
you get
tax?
more rights as than a normal citizen.
No. That's like saying your company got more rights than your children in their house. Where that work at? What you got, Gabrielle? I heard them keys are talking.
I just wanted to look at the benefits of being a foreigner in the U.S.
And the answer is
You can be deported.
why it sound like prizes that you don't want to win?
Yeah, like, but wait, there's less. Wait, what? Ain't it supposed to be more? No, there's actually less for you.
Wait a minute. I'm really confused because someone's doing all this talk saying, "Oh, you gotta wait another year to get that status," but then it says here you gotta wait 5 years holding your green card.
Yeah, you have to have a green card if you are a foreigner. That's absolutely true. If you are a foreigner, you
Wait.
make yourself a foreigner, you have to have a green card.
Wait a minute. So
people talk their foot in their mouth and don't know and walked into it.
So wait a minute. So what you're saying is, all right, we know that some people are making themselves foreigners on purpose.
Correct.
By giving up the Social Security card, double and triple entendre in your birth certificate, and I don't know. So all of that is part of the process getting a green card, or you just free and clear after that?
No, you
Clearly.
Well, if you don't do the process for a valid green card, you can have a problem at any given time. You technically become an undocumented illegal alien. You have no paperwork to validate who you are. Because what paperwork from what foreign country do you have to state that you are who you say you are?
And according to this, after the second criteria, they're out. Let's go back up because it says here, you must be at least 18 years old. I don't know, that's questionable with some of them mentally, but they qualify as far as their age. Be able to read, write, and speak basic English, that's out. And have good moral character. I ain't gotta say no more. In case y'all didn't know, you carry that green card for 5 years. If you commit a crime, you get deported. I don't know if that's a website or not, but that's just extra credit for those that don't know. So when they tell you about these statuses, they're talking about what they're doing. And again, as we talked about on the previous show, you are in a higher tax bracket because you're a foreigner.
Definitely did say that.
And people who coming in right now, this is for the misinformation that has been circling around in our community about private and public. And this is proof that you can research for yourself. The link's in the chat. You can dive deeper in, pulling back the veil on what really is public and private. What does it really mean? Now, not what nobody feels, not what nobody thinks, but what it really means. Gabrielle, whenever you want to do the eligible requirements.
Man. Eligibility requirements for private citizenship. To become a U.S. citizen, you must have had a permanent resident card, green card, for a minimum of 5 years. If you are married to a U.S. citizen, you must have had a green card for at least 3 years. You must also be at least 18 years old, be able to read, write, and speak basic English, and have good moral character. That's actually really important. If you do not have a current valid green card, you must apply for a new one and send a photocopy of the receipt of your form I-90 application to replace permanent resident card to the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services Office as soon as you receive it.
Say what?
Oh, I'm going to read that again. Eligibility requirements for private citizenship. To become a U.S. citizen.
Hold up. So a private citizen is a U.S. citizen.
Exactly.
Again, a private citizen is a U.S. citizen.
Mm-hmm.
Someone I see a couple of questions in the chat. One is dealing with the SF form 181. That's dealing with your race and ethnicity. That has nothing to do with your citizenship. So those are two separate things when you fill out. It's the voluntary part of an application where it asks you your race and ethnicity and always says voluntary. It's like now in some forms it asks voluntarily whether you want to identify as a male or female. Voluntary information. You don't have to do that. So what we're specifically talking about is those that are saying that they are not a U.S. citizen. They are foreigners. They are aliens. They're saying themselves aliens, and then they want to come back in and talking about they're naturalized and that they are private. So that's what we're separating: public versus private. Private is who you are individually. Whatever you do in your household, that's private. But anyway, I just want to, and I think there was another question in the chat.
And the other question is what it has to do with the American Indian is because there are people in the community using this misinformation and attaching it to correcting your status. This is how you become an American Indian. This is how you establish your rights back and trust. And that's why we're bringing this information to the forefront, because a lot of people don't know and follow this path thinking it's getting you closer to your homeland. In reality, it's taking you further and further away and putting you and your family and loved ones in potential danger.
Exactly.
This is the same cycle. What it is, things that keep coming up. History is repeating itself. This same group has taken notes to do the same thing that the Washita Moors did. That didn't turn out too well for them. And so now new laws have been implemented since then, since the 1990s. So now you have a generation that's trying to do this that was too young to remember what happened with the Washita Moors. So again, knock yourselves out. This is a history course. There's two things we don't like. We don't like history and we don't like civics. And so now you're getting a history lesson and you're getting a lesson in civics because we got to get back to basics. I yield the mic.
Semi-correct, P. Parker, put it like this. You're changing your status from being a private citizen, but you'll realize what is really a private citizen as we go further. You are changing your status from a private citizen to a foreigner.
Yep.
All of us in the sound of our voices is rising, are already private citizens unless you're working in the public capacity, meaning services, government, police officers, firefighters, postal workers. They're public citizens. If you're not in them fields, you're a private citizen. And people get to see as we go further and further down into the information. Sorry, Gabrielle, whenever you.
No, you're fine. I apologize. Okay. Again, I'll read that again and go to the next spot. Eligibility requirements for private citizenship. To become a U.S. citizen, that's private citizen, U.S. citizen, you must have had a permanent resident card, green card, for a minimum of 5 years. If you're married to a U.S. citizen, you must have had a green card for at least 3 years. You must also be at least 18 years old, be able to read, write, and speak basic English, and have good moral character. If you do not have a current valid green card, you must apply for a new one and send a photocopy of the receipt of your Form I-90 application to replace permanent resident card to the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services Office as soon as you receive it. Application form N-400. If you satisfy all eligibility requirements, becoming a private citizen of the United States begins with the application form N-400, which you can print from a U.S. Department of Homeland Security or U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services website. Alternatively, you can pick up one from your local Citizenship and Immigration office. The completed form application should be returned by mail or to your local office, together with a photocopy of both sides of your green card and a check or money order for the application fee and the biometric service fees. If you are applying for citizenship on the basis that you are married to a U.S. citizen, you must also send evidence that your spouse has been a U.S. citizen for the last 3 years, ergo, her birth certificate or certificate of citizenship, your current marriage certificate, proof of termination of any previous marriages, and paperwork in the names of both you and your spouse, such as a tax return or mortgage statement.
Hold up, what?
If you are applying for citizenship on the basis that you are married to a U.S. citizen, you must also send evidence that your spouse has been a U.S. citizen for the last 3 years, ergo, her birth certificate or citizenship, your current marriage certificate, proof of termination of any previous marriages, and paperwork in the names of both you and your spouse, such as a tax return or mortgage statement. Biometric screening appointments. Some applicants are required to have a biometrics appointment to confirm their identity. This involves
Hold on, time out. What? Biometrics?
Yeah.
Is that dealing with your body and DNA and type of stuff like that?
Yes. Yep, exactly. Some applicants are required to have a biometrics appointment to confirm their identity. This involves taking your photograph, fingerprints, and signature, and usually takes no more than 30 minutes. If you are required to have biometric screening, the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services will send you an appointment notice after you submit your application stating the date, time, and a location to attend. Your fingerprints are sent to the Federal Bureau of Investigation for a criminal background check.
Oh,
Mr. Gabriel,
hold on.
you click on that X to remove that tractor. So I don't want anyone to say that they couldn't see what you were reading.
What?
There's a tractor that's like blocking. There's a little advertisement. See that?
No.
You don't see it?
Uh-uh.
The little John tractor. It's showing up on this end. There's a little drop.
Yeah, it's on my
Yeah, it's
end.
not on the main screen. It's just on the screen in the back.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
We're good. Then, 'cause I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
want anyone-
actually, exactly. Thank you for that, James. See, it's a heads up, even if we ain't it. Don't even matter. My head's up.
Oh yeah. It's not on the okay, yeah. I see what you're saying. My bad.
Look, I'm over here clicking the X2 myself. Like I can click it.
Yeah, I was like, wait. Yeah, but that's on this is Zoom. Okay, you know what?
Yeah. Yeah, we good. We got it.
We got a screen that's looking at a screen that's looking at a screen that's in the screen. That part.
Because you know that I
It's
know
been
that you
screaming.
know that I'm reading. U.S. naturalization test. There's a test. The U.S. naturalization test consists of an interview and an English and civics test. Civics.
All right,
What?
stop. Let me give myself a pat on the back. Isn't that what I said earlier? What I've been talking about for the longest about civics. We don't know civics. Say that. I'm sorry. Read that section again. One more time.
The U.S. naturalization test consists of an interview and an English and civics test.
A test that you, as a U.S. citizen, when you were born, don't even have to take. Woo! Maybe they need to bring civics back.
This is looking bad.
You will receive a letter from the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services with a time, date, and location of your naturalization test. It normally takes place at your local U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Service office. You must take your permanent resident card or alien resident card, passport, state identification card, and any re-entry permits you have with you, as well as any other identification you have been asked to provide.
Hold up. So you're gonna need some verifiable proof from some proper authority to prove you are who you say you are.
Mm-hmm.
Can you add that and gate that away to put you back in this process here?
Yep.
Like, you know what? Let me just go back to this starting line. You know what? I'm gonna let everybody else go ahead to the finish line. Let me start all over. Clearly, I'm not struggling already.
You know what? Double cousin remind me. Oh man.
You got something to say after the show? Yes.
Yeah.
Y'all don't be reminding me. I said it already. Never mind. That was like 3 days later though.
Yeah,
I'll remind you.
it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. But this is pretty crucial. All right.
Mm-hmm.
During the interview, you will be asked questions about your background, and the information you provided on Form N-400. The interview takes place under oath, so you must tell the truth.
Hold on. Under what?
Oath.
So these same people that's telling you, them oath takers, are putting you in a situation to be an oath taker. I'm so confused. No, Sell, I need.
Ain't oath like the sound you make like when you fall or something? I don't know. What oath?
Quaker oath.
Quaker, yeah. Like is it 5 minutes? 1 minute oaths? I mean, what? To what? Two oaths. To what?
2 oaths.
2 oaths. Not oaths, oats.
2 oaths.
To what? Like, come on, man. What? You got to take a. I thought I saw somebody in a chat one time say, "Hold on, so I'm denouncing one to take another oath." I believe I can't remember who that was, but yeah, you leaving one oath for another oath. And I know, you know what, Gabrielle, remind me after the show to tell you who that was. I know everybody knows who that was.
Hold on. Gotta write yours down and mine. Hold on.
Look, okay. For real, you're leaving a so-called oath to take another oath. Let me set this one down and pick this one up. Hold on. So I don't think I got my question answered earlier.
Come back in. Think about it. You're taking this oath to come back in, trying to regain what you already had and gave away.
Got mad at it and don't want it no more.
Is that like saying I'm sorry? I'm wrong. I messed up.
No, because they really think that's the process. You can't say sorry if you think that's the process. Yeah, I got to give this up and then come back through the back door with it, and I'm good. Private. Miranda.
Foreigner. Alien.
That's that bottomless pit of paperwork.
You know, team, and now you're mad because somebody took your starting spot.
Let me read this next
Yeah,
question.
exactly. That's what I was trying to get to, that analogy with going back to the starting line. They're going to finish first. Why you walk back to the starting line?
Hold on. Let me read this next question real quick. Bones, you stopped me too soon after the oath and the truth.
I'm ready.
So I am going to get quiet because we're going to need a moment of silence for this to set in. If you are discovered to have lied during the interview, you will be denied citizenship.
Hold on, man. So does that mean that everybody is lying?
Wait, double cousin, just...
I'm waiting. I'm chilling. I'm going to stay on mute. Hold on, what'd you say? Did you ask me something?
If you
I was
are
talking when you was talking.
discovered after taking the oath, so you must tell the truth. If you are discovered to have lied during the interview, you will be denied citizenship.
Do, do, do. Do, do, do.
Do, do, do.
Hold on, my question is there... Can you come back in 90 days and redo the application?
Look at you. You disrespecting them. We trying to get them a moment of silence and you just talking all over them. Look at that. I don't blame you, no, Shell. I would did the same if I was playing the horn.
Look, you walking all through it like that. What? Let me walk through this color guard. What is this? What are y'all doing? No, look. My question is, I forgot. I'm going on mute. Oh no, I asked it earlier. Did I ask it earlier? I think James tried to answer. I'll come back.
I mean, if you are discovered to have lied during the interview, you will be denied citizenship. So you being originally a U.S. citizen who coming back masquerading as a foreigner, can that be potentially considered a lie?
Oh no. Hold
Hey,
on.
wait a minute. My question is
I
any of these
just
people
wanna-
actually going to an authority
Got another
after
question.
giving up a social? They're just like, this is how I do it. I ain't got to talk to nobody. You got to carry nope across the line.
Sister Gabrielle Union, I'm waiting for you to get to the English and civics.
Oh yeah, my bad. I was writing down a question. I had to. Look. Okay.
No, you're good. You are just fine. Because at a certain part when I'm just gonna yell stop to the top of my lungs. So y'all cover your ears or turn the volume down on me.
All right. All right. The English and civics test takes place at the same time as your interview and is designed to determine your eligibility to read, write, and speak English. For example, you must read one sentence out of 3 sentences in a way to show the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services officer that you understand the meaning of the sentence.
Stop! Oh man, this comes back into reading comprehension. I know some of us remember that in elementary school and middle school, that on your report there was a section that says reading comprehension. So that means when you punching in digits, trying to expose, quote unquote, somebody live on the air, I can't find it. You can't even pass this test.
Is that your control? Your control, or is it company? No, I'm talking company. Go ahead, my.
Ain't no legitimate company, and not understanding that even these things that are incorporated, you see most places it says LLC because that means limited liability company, saying that no one could come into, no one, if they sue the company, they can't sue your private person.
See, y'all talking with these L's, so it wouldn't be a legitimate company. It'd be a legitimate company. It wouldn't be a LLC. It'd be a C.
A C.
Shout out to my man Claims with the Z. His S broke on his keyboard, so all his S's he type in for Z. Shout out to Claims. Just type it in those upside down 7s.
I want to know how everybody else can type it in on Google, Bing, any other search engine and find it. Everybody else in every different search engine language, but you.
So they're calling them right now. So they're like, hey man, look now, you ain't gonna be hitting me in the head that many times before noon now.
I was on your side.
No, I think you was just right there center of that fence.
All right, wait.
Online still work?
Yeah.
Matter of fact, we're not even supposed to be here right now.
No, it's too early. The case is being built. Can't shut us down this early. I want more money.
You are also asked 10 questions about U.S. history and government. You must answer 6 out of the 10 questions correctly to pass. You can obtain study materials for both tests, including all 100 civics questions, from the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services website. If you don't pass either test on your first attempt, you get another opportunity to take the section of the test that you failed. This will be scheduled within 60 to 90 days after the date of your initial interview. If your citizenship application is granted, you will receive the decision in writing from the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services the day you attend your interview.
So last time I checked, that 70 and above is passing with anything else. You can actually make a 60 on this test. And you actually, I don't know if we have time because I don't want to veer off. But if you click on the questions of the test, I guarantee you the Cavs Grand Rising Show has covered all 10 of these questions. Any foreigner / alien / resident that is trying to get citizenship can just go and listen to the rebroadcast of the Cavs Grand Rising Show and they'll pass the test. I guarantee you. Because all the history we've talked about, all the government we've talked about, all the civics we dealt with, oh man. How you?
Facts.
Cordially invited.
So again, why is it so hard when people yell and scream about proof? And proof is shown that says otherwise. And you never get proof shown that says anything different. Where's the information that says what's presented this rising isn't truthful? Where's the source? Because you can take the same information and go directly to the immigration link that's on there where it leads to and do this process if you're trying to make yourself a foreigner.
Or if you are a foreigner already trying to get back in. But hold on, wait a minute.
I don't know if it's me, but it sounds like you're coming in real low, like them foreigners trying to come back in real low.
Oh man.
Don't fill out that paper, no sellout. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's a trick. Throw it out the window.
I'm sorry, y'all. I just had to do this because it's like 100. It's 100 questions, but you're gonna get those 10. I can't help myself. I'm sorry. Y'all,
we got time.
Put me in time. The first question, which it's under A, and it says Principles of American Democracy. First question. What is the supreme law of the land? The Constitution. Second question, what does the Constitution do? Sets up the government, defines the government, protects the basic rights of Americans. I'm just gonna do the third question. It says, the idea of self-government, that's what these people, sovereign people keep talking about. The idea of self-government is in the first 3 words of the Constitution. What are these 3 words? We, the people. I yield the mic.
Man down. Get that man a Band-Aid.
Talking about self-government. You self-governing. It still go back to what we've been saying. We, the people. You are the Congress. So it's like on the movie Bridesmaids. Stop slapping yourself. Stop slapping yourself. You beating yourself up. You are literally being like Jim Carrey on Live when he beat himself up in the bathroom. When the guy said, "What are you doing?"
I'm kicking my ass. Do you mind?
I'm Jose Canseco. You are beating yourself up. Come on, son. All the contradictions. Man, you know what? I'm just gonna take clips of this, and every time somebody says something stupid, I'm just gonna post these pieces of clip of this show in these back chats.
I'm fine with that. I might help you post them.
Just call me the M'Baku of YouTube. But they were sitting out there talking. He's like, "Whoa! Are you done? Are you done? Are you guys done? You done out there? You sovereigns, are you done?"
Oh, you done now.
Oh, you July 4th done. Nah,
Burnt chicken done.
That's a fire.
You know, I can only imagine. And let's just imagine. Someone trying to sit down there and take that test based off of all the misinformation in civics and history and citizenship.
Wait, am I missing something? Hold on. Is anybody that's trying to do this actually going through this process, or are we just showing that this is a process for foreigners?
No, there are people who are doing this and think they're doing it right.
Hold on, they're going after a green card?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Nah, that ain't in the packages, is it?
Yes. But
no, green card, the word green card come back through the system the other way?
Yeah, this is
no,
this is
James said that you in a higher tax bracket, man. That's penalties on you. Wait, what?
This is the process. This is one of the processes that is sold in that packet.
Yes.
Nah, I must have fell asleep. I thought I was up till 5 a.m.
Oh no, there's recorded conversation that's around the community. Some of it's still up. You need to be on the private side. You need to be on the private side. Once you figure out the private side. So, yeah, if you want to be a foreigner, go to the private side when you're already on the private side.
Exactly.
Just talking to the neighbors.
Grand Rising.
Grand Rising.
Oh, I guess they not real too, even though they shouting Grand Rising through the neighborhood. But
hold on. This got to be an equipment difference, because when people be talking in some backgrounds, I just don't hear them. They be in the same room. You outside.
These voices, and where they go, I follow.
Too many different ones in one brain.
I mean, we can go back to the days where the people of the community used to show up and dance on the show and stuff and tell jokes. But then that would make us an entertainment only show, and I think we got too many of those already.
Way too many.
Comedians.
As well. On purpose.
Self-proclaimed.
Can we change the subject? Talk about sports or something?
How about the NFL?
Ain't that a 501c6?
Yes.
Oh man, wait a minute. Hold on. Are there 501c involved in entertainment?
Yeah.
Oh, no, don't answer that. I'm sorry. We have a series that was started with the 501(c)(3s.
Anyone that's doing content on YouTube that's using royalty-free music in their videos, yes, that's because of 501c entertainment company. Yes. When you have royalty-free footage, royalty-free videos, yeah. All falls under that. Your whole common license, common creative license, yeah, that falls under that too, yeah.
With known licensure. All right, my bad. I ain't mean to give y'all no tangerines on that tangent. We can move along. My bad.
Open software, any open developed software falls up under there.
Oh my goodness. Entertainment and media and politics is under a 501c4.
Yes. Because they can't influence politics. Yes.
All right, man. All right. Y'all just, come on, man. Really? Y'all just gonna do this?
Filmmaking is under a 501c3.
Yes, and the last time I checked, less Hollywood of church. We all been watching church our whole life in front of the TV.
Lordy. It's a church. Lord of mercy.
Business leagues in tied to entertainment are under a 501c6.
I know some faces got to be hurt because all this slapping, my wrist starting to tighten up, y'all.
Well, you supposed to tag us in, man. Tag us in.
I did. All the tagging got my wrist hurting. It ain't the slapping, it's the tagging.
I won. You what? I lost.
I won. Give me my money.
All seriousness again, this is the issue that we're saying. People are standing on platforms telling you, you got to become private. Put your things in trust. You got to become private. Or when you're private, you can do this. Can't nobody tell you anything. You are a private citizen right now.
Yep.
Gabrielle, can you bring up the definition for private citizen?
Yep.
Oh, we going there.
Absolutely. I sure can.
And she says she sure can. This is ridiculous. Are y'all serious? Y'all about to share a screen and show what you're talking about out of your mouth?
Keep typing it up.
My bad. Go ahead, James.
No, I was just saying, just not on here rapping. Show me something. Show me something on the screen. Just on there rapping. In my dang run that away voice.
He missed the pre-production meeting. Oh, I guess that wasn't a name drop though. So.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't get up.
You're good. You're good. You're good. You can name drop yourself. That's your name. You own that name. That's you.
Just going through
Hope you own the hashtag too.
Put the definition in the chat. Private citizen.
Please read aloud.
Let me see.
Give me 10 seconds. Give me 10 seconds to get it on the screen, everyone.
Okay.
Hold on.
We still on the air?
Just private citizen. A citizen who does not hold an official or public position.
And for the record, what is a public citizen? And we can wrap it up on that.
Okay.
On the whole citizen baloney.
Okay. Oh.
And what does it say for a public citizen?
Can I just use Wikipedia link?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah.
I'm just saying this thing got deep.
Yeah. So anyone who wants to know, they have in the chat details.
Yeah. Whoa.
And again, the importance is some of us, we already know. But then we have brothers and sisters that are new to the information. And a lot of them are getting caught up in these packages. And again, we know because we get the emails. Or, for example, Gabrielle, someone who calls in that's jammed up behind it and need help. And so we're taking the time out again to put the information out there, put the links out there. So if you may know someone or someone else ever come across it, at least there's information out there they can use, check the sources to find out for themselves.
Right. Public Citizen. Public Citizen is a non-profit, liberal, progressive consumer rights advocacy group and think tank based. Oh, Public Citizen is a non-profit, liberal, progressive consumer rights advocacy. Oh, I'm sorry. That's an actual company. My bad. I apologize.
To make it easier, you'll find it under what is the difference between a public citizen and a private citizen.
Okay. Quora. I got Quora.com. Okay, yeah, I got Quora.com.
Yeah, you can read it from now. That'll work because we just running over it real quick. Ain't gonna dwell on it after that too long.
A private citizen is, in general, a regular citizen, one who can be expected to act in their own interest.
One more time, please.
A private citizen is, in general, a regular citizen, one who can be expected to act in their own interests. The contrast to that is someone who has a duty to act in the public interest. This is never forced, but always voluntarily. The two ways that someone becomes a public citizen, or more commonly a public servant, is by either publicly taking an oath to serve the greater good of the nation and the public, or by accepting money from the public funds, which is paid out explicitly in the form of salary. Accepting money from the public funds, which is not a salary, does not impose any obligation. However, if the money is offered in the form of a salary, then a person must either refuse the money or accept that they are becoming bound by duty and thereby becoming a public servant. It becomes their duty to serve the public in some specific capacity. No member of the public can say to any given public servant, "Go make me a sandwich," because the public servants serve in specific capacities. However, you can expect them to do their specific job diligently and promptly without expecting anything more than their already agreed upon salary. So if people are giving legal, I got a question. If people are giving legal advice, legal direction, legal coercion, using legal terminologies and acts and codes and all that, and accept donations, does that make them a public servant who's obligated to the people that they're accepting funds, money from, because that now becomes their salary?
Correct.
Okay.
I think James, you was going to say something.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. I apologize.
No, you're good. That was what I was going to say. I gave an example not to be read in the back of the back chats. So I know how they want to play the game, especially when they do it under the capacity of, they never use a disclaimer and say, hey, seek legal advice. Like if you go to certain websites and you ask legal questions, people will respond, and even attorneys will respond, but they'll tell you to still go and seek legal counsel. Don't take what I'm saying on this page, or don't take what I'm saying on this show as set in stone, because they tell you every county, state is different. The laws vary. They always tell you that. They always throw out a disclaimer and tell you, look, you need to seek your own legal counsel. You can take this as a guide, but I am not giving you legal advice, quote unquote. So when you get on there and start talking legal things and you don't throw out that disclaimer, you are now acting in the capacity of a public servant, which is the same thing as you going out there and pretending to be a police officer or any other public servant. You cannot work in that capacity.
That's outside of your scope of practice.
Exactly.
Because you are a private citizen. I mean, I hope that puts more clarity on that public private situation. I hope it really does. Clear up the misinformation on what it really is. And again, if you wish to dig deeper into it, the links are in the chat so you can go further into it. And like we said, don't take our word for it. But it does not mean what has been passed around in our community to mean. It leads back to a solvent citizen packet. And it doesn't matter where the packet goes to, or who it came from. They all lead back to this one organization that developed it and just put it out there, let people know how to change it and how to adapt it to their own needs. I mean, any closing thoughts on this topic here from the panel on public versus private? Is it finally the big?
So I'm born private already, right?
Yeah.
And in my house, I'm private. I'm in my house, I'm private. I'm in my head, I'm private. Where else? I'm private, right? I'm already private. I'm doing it. I didn't have to fill out no paperwork for this, right?
No.
Right.
It's mine.
All I have is to work in the advice that my grandmother used to say. She say, baby, make sure before you go out, you always have on clean drawers. You never know when you're gonna get into an accident. So stop putting your privates out in public, people. Make sure your drawers is clean. You never know when you're gonna get into an accident. How you the mic?
Man, that ain't about as relevant right now. Come on now. What did you learn, Gabrielle?
Man, look.
That's the first time I had to put somebody on the spot. I'm sorry. On Team
Yeah,
Mitch.
got to be more careful.
Yeah, I'm on Team Mitch.
I'm done.
Stepping all out there like Carl Lewis when he sang the national anthem. Uh-oh. You ain't no business. You ain't no business. Uh-oh.
Not even a nonprofit. Gabrielle, did you learn the difference between a company and a control number?
Well, that's 2 letters of the alphabet down. They taking all the L's and taking all the O's. Uh-oh.
What's bumping the nose? Oh, so you didn't learn nothing?
I learned a lot. I learned that man, them public figures, them public faces, taking PayPal, Cash App, and
Man, that is public, ain't it?
man, responsibility.
But wouldn't that be people collecting donations without tax exempt statuses,
Yep.
without legal corporations that can legally collect donations and don't report them?
Yep.
Better keep your drawers clean.
In other words, you a street hustler out there tap dancing and playing the guitar with the little change bucket.
Asking for thumbs up and likes and shares.
Trying to throw stones at real entities. I mean, if there's no more on this, we can go ahead and get salutations, because again, this topic, this subject is dead, it's recorded, it's online. So if anybody ever want to know again, you can point them to the direction. Any more questions, comments, concerns, number on the line, email is open, line is always open.
Hold on, wait a minute. We got an email address?
You know it.
And a phone number to call in?
You know it.
And don't nobody be okay. I would only think that we just got to be correct. I would just say we're correct. I'm gonna leave it at that. No response. It's on wax.
And for anyone coming in late, again, Autonomous Assembly Incorporation, information is up on the screen. That's in the business registry as a domestic nonprofit organization, again, registered in Georgia as a domestic nonprofit organization or corporation. So all this should be a dead subject, dead topic. Anybody question you, you know where to point them to.
Yeah, don't plausibly deny that you ain't know this is out there. This is out there. In the
All
public.
proof, but it's on screen, it's in the public, it's shown, the link is there, the link is even on the screen, the name, the company number. This is nothing special, because if you was to put in the number, put in the name on Google anyway, it would pop up because registered corporations are public info. It's about that time. What type of salutations we got today?
Salivations. Continue doing your genealogy. Continue on your genealogical journey. Don't stop it. Continue it. Know who you are so that no one can tell you who you are. Pull those records. Know it for yourself. Pass it to your children. Pass it to the rest of your family. Pass it to your friends, your neighbors. Pass that information along. Because at the end of the day, knowing who you are so that no one can tell you who you are protects you and everyone you share it with. The more you know, the less someone or someone's can come and tell you different, period. Continue doing your genealogy. Know who you are so that no one can tell you who you are. No matter where that genealogical journey leads you, know who you are so you know, so no one can tell you different, period. Census Day was April 1st. Doesn't mean you can't still do the census, because you can do the census. Not just because it's required by law, it's because you're making yourself count so that you can count. You got the decennial 10-year census, you've got the ACS yearly census, which happens every month and every year, regardless of the space between the decennial census. Do the census, make yourself count. Doing the census affects programs, affects funding, affects states, affects counties, affects cities, affects your immediate community, your immediate areas. Do the census. There's no harm in it. Just saying. Anyone telling you not to do your genealogy, anyone not telling you not to do the census, something's wrong with them. Because in order to do your genealogy, you're pulling census records. Just saying.
Common sense.
Do the census. Make yourself count so that you can count. Period. If you don't do the census, somebody else will. If you don't do the census, another business will. What we don't actively participate in, somebody else will. Sitting idly by with our arms folded, complaining about things and not participating doesn't mean things stop moving. The sun will always come up and come down, and the moon will always come up and come down. Us not doing anything doesn't stop everything else. Get actively involved. Do the census, do your genealogy. Know what's going on in your community, in your city, in your state. Know that information and share that information. We are individually responsible